Hey, what's going on YouTube? NoAF here. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing my Maliss Deck profile post December 9th banlist. So we all know the December 9th banlist changed up the meta completely almost. If you don't know what it did, it essentially hit Tempai very hard. It completely destroyed Snake Eyes Fire King, and Yubel is now slightly worse than it was. So quite big changes in the format. Pretty much very similarly to what they're doing in the OCG, where Ryzeal's the best deck. And so that it has to be reflected in our lists, of course. We have to have our main deck prepared for Ryzeal, since that's what we're going to be facing up most of the time. That being said, this list probably does need some work, but it kind of gets the general theory down, which might be helpful. Alright, so let's get into it. So we're playing 2 Chessie Cat because it's good. It goes full combo with the Bestial. It draws 2 cards by banishing a Malice card. It can bait hand traps. Since it doesn't banish its cost, sometimes it can be annoying, but generally does not really come up. Since this thing is pretty much eating Ash most of the time, the reason why I like playing 2, you can bump it down to 1 if you want to play more on non-engine. I just wasn't sure which non-engine I wanted to play over the Chessie. Next is Triple White Rabbit. This card's pretty good. It gets your combo started. Well, it's a 1-card combo, as well as being able to play under interruption pretty well. Since if you normal summon it, you can extend by drawing a field spell with a gold Sark to extend, and then going into Dormouse bounce Chessie, and then your Imperm did nothing. 1 Dotskeeper because he's the 1 brick of the deck. Still pretty good card. 1 Coda Soul. This card is good because since you're no longer playing Shifter, you're more reliant on your graveyard. Since you're primarily focused on going first, that extra interruption / extension can feel very strong. Next, we play 1 Gold Sark as one of your one-of extenders because it's only out 1. It's an extender and a starter that doesn't require your normal summon, so it's pretty good. I still like Allure. You could bump these out and a Chessie for triple mining, but I'm still unsure how I feel with mining. I feel like if you get ashed, it hurts quite a bit because you kind of go -2. And the Allure, if you at least get ashed on Allure, you only go -1. You basically just trade an Ash for an Allure, and I like that better. As well as drawing into your non-engine is pretty good, and mining cannot get into your non-engine. Next one, 1/1/1. Standard ratios. Triple field spell, 1 terraforming. The reason why I didn't include terraforming is because I didn't want to draw multiples, but now since we have the deck space because we're no longer playing Shifter, we can play it. It's not bad. If anything, since we're playing 2 Chessie, we can use Chessie's effect to unclog our hand with extra field spells by banishing it, so it's fine. But again, it's just another starter to keep us from breaking, essentially. And it's a pretty powerful starter for that. Next, we played Double Druid Worm, 1 Baldrake, 1 Magnamut. I just don't know what else to put into the main deck to consider a main deck slot. I think I might want to bump down a Druid Worm to play main deck 1 Talent, because I think Talents can be good. And if you really like Talents, you can play 2 to 3, but I think 3 is too excessive, so I'd play probably 2. Alright, so for our next slot, we have Triple Nib. Nib isn't that good into pure Ryzeal because their 1-card combo doesn't play into Nib because they have the field spell. So this deck would be more focused against the non-pure Ryzeal builds, such as Fiendsmith Ryzeal. It checks it pretty hard, as well as being able to check other Fiendsmith decks / other decks in general. In that regard, I think it's definitely worth a main deck slot, because you're not always going to be facing against pure Ryzeal. You'll have other builds too, and it's a good card. It's Nibiru. Triple Ash, I'm not going to go into this card. This card is Ash Blossom. Of course, it's a main deck card. The only reason why I wouldn't see it as in a main deck slot would be because you're on Board Breakers main deck, but I don't really see a reason to go into Board Breakers since your matchups are going to be a bit all over the place. Triple Droll, you have implications with the Charmies for sure, but you're not going to be against the Charmies all the time, considering there's not a lot of Tempai anymore. There might still be 1 or 2 Tempai, but I don't think there will be that many. Besides, you also have Ash Blossom, and since Maxi isn't that prevalent, Droll has definitely lost value. That being said, Drolls are good against Ryzeal if they start with Bonfire. Even if they summon with X, that you go effect add and then you Droll them, it doesn't stop them completely, but at least you only have to worry about Detonator and you don't have to really worry about the field spell. So it's just another hand trap that can help against that and help against other decks. Next, we're playing Triple Veiler. Since we're no longer on Shifter, we can play Veiler and we don't have to worry about it. I still like Veiler and I think it's pretty solid. We're on Triple Imperm. It's Imperm. Not going to go into it. Checks Detonator. It's crazy. 1 Called by the Grave. It's for Lancia, but no one's main decking Lancia, so we could side deck it, but I'd rather just main it. It's also good against other hand traps, as well. Since we're not playing Shifter, it's just extra graveyard hate. at worst. You can hit like a detonator and grave if they try to go plug in. Like you have some implications with called by, and I don't think this is a bad card. It's a one of, so I wouldn't hate if I draw it. Next, let's move on to the side deck. So double thrust. This card's good. Being able to thrust into Slayer, thrust into Gold Sark if you need extension, thrust into an Imperm at worst. Card's nice, as well as getting access to field spell through terraforming. Not bad. Getting access to a lure cannot be bad, as well as your main deck traps. It's never a bad thing. Triple cross out because have you heard of Lancia, as well as being able to negate Nib can feel very, very strong, since you can just kind of go in your full combo and just not worry about anything. One Ultimate Slayer. It's a good card. I don't feel like this is worth playing more than one. You can play one or two. I don't like three. This card feels super meh, considering you only have one target, so it makes sense to play one because you can thrust for it going second. So there's that. Xyz's Encore. This card is something I wanted to mention. You can definitely play three of this. I can totally see people playing three of this because it's a quick play. You're going first. It's kind of insane, where if they summon the Duo Drive, you can just shuffle it back, summon the two level 4s, and then they become level 3s because your levels are reduced by 1. So it's kind of like a weird super poly, but kind of insane too. Like going first, that has a lot of implications where Slayer doesn't. So it's kind of like Forbidden Chalice in that regard. So that's pretty cool. 1D barrier, card's okay. By okay, I mean this card's busted. Like this thing can called Fusion if you're against Fiendsmith, which is really funny sometimes. You could also play, we also play one Symbol Arch Fiends because it doubles into Fiendsmith X. It goes into Ryzeal. Well, doubles into Ryzeal D barrier, as well as hitting any other like linked X. And against Malice, you kind of flip this. And well, they have like a link 1 and they can't do anything about it. They cannot combo. So this is why I just play it, because I think that's alone is worth it. Like if you get Lancia, you want to play as many outs to Lancia, or like as many ways to set up for Lancia, or like have a game plan if you get Lancia. Well, Lancia, because we play triple cross out, you could definitely play 3 of this, cut the 2 Charmies, but I don't want to cut the Charmies because Charmy is kind of crazy. Triple Shifter, have you read it? It says no graveyard. You can play under it, so no reason to not side it. Double Charmies, because Charmy is kind of insane. Like, have you read Perulia? Each time Ryzeal summons from hand, draw 1 card. As well, since Snake Eyes isn't really in the format, Flauros might be a little bit worse, but you might want to put Flauros inside. I don't like side decking both because then you're sacrificing your board breakers. You don't want to do that. All right, next for the extra deck. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Nightmare Griffin is a spicy deck. We're not playing it, but you definitely can. Card's good. It's good into Ryzeal because they have no link monsters, essentially. So if they special summon, they don't get their effects, which is pretty relevant. So you could definitely play that instead of like a Transcode or something. The reason we're playing Transcode is because we're playing Dotscaper, and so if we normal the Dotscaper, it becomes a 1-card Terahertz combo. So that's pretty cool, as well as giving that plays under Lancia. Yeah, Link Spiders for Nib, so we can play through it. Anything else, it's pretty standard. We cut the pack bit because I don't feel like it's that prevalent or that relevant in general. There's just not a lot of things that synchro summon right now. That being said, if you're going first, you should 100% win. With all that aside, I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching the video. Just watching the video helps out the channel immensely, pushes it out to other people in the algorithm, so I thank you for that, as well as I thank you guys for the support you guys did on my previous videos. It's pretty cool, and they've been doing actually pretty well for my channel. But yeah, thanks guys. See you guys in the next one.